In 2017, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, announced the ASEAN Culture of Prevention for a peaceful, inclusive, resilient, healthy, and harmonious society. It recognizes the importance of adopting the preventive approach by all stakeholders to prevent harm before it happens. A good example that reflects the aspirations of the culture of prevention is Safer Kids PH. This innovative consortium brings together UNICEF, Save the Children, and the Asia Foundation, supported by the Australian government, to jointly work to prevent online sexual abuse and exploitation of children.
So we know that in the Philippines, around 20% of 12 to 17-year-olds who use the internet have been actual victims of online sexual abuse and exploitation. That comes to an estimated 2 million children. So the scale of it itself really gives us an idea of how that would impact on children.
Exposure to online harm can have a serious traumatic impact on children, such as trauma and psychosocial problems, decrease in self-esteem, or risk of depression and suicidal thoughts. Meanwhile, the case management process designed to help victims is not always child-friendly and can result in further trauma.
So that brings me to the point of prevention. To be able to ensure that, first of all, children are not exposed at all, that they don't have to go through this process, that they are not experience all of these psychosocial impacts on them.
The Safer Kids program demonstrates how effective use of prevention, alongside protection and cooperation, can support a more holistic response for children. The program focuses on 4 outcomes: promoting positive behavior, working proactively with law enforcement officials and the courts, undertaking community-based initiatives, and working closely with local government units, and supporting policy-level efforts.
Some of our key achievements, I would say, would be the passing of the Anti-Online Sexual Abuse and Exploitation Law, which I think is probably one of the few in ASEAN.
Safer Kids works in close collaboration with the Women and Children's Cybercrime Protection Unit of the Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group.
Daming mga naitulong ang Safer Kids sa amin. First, yung aming recent operation pagdating sa services sa mga bata, kasama namin sila. Yung pag-provide ng psychological, financial assistance, legal assistance, partner namin ang Safer Kids.
Meron po tayong Facebook page na tinatawag na Aling Police and the Cyber Squad. Ito po ay nabuo sa tulong po ng Safer Kids PH, the Asia Foundation. Parang pinagsama po siyang education, information sa mga kabataan at bibigay din po ng prevention tips. Ito po ay nabuo sa pakikipagtulungan sa mga estudyante. Ganon din po yung sa pagdi-design sa mga cyber squad na ito. Dahil nire-recognize po natin yung participation ng mga kabataan.
The platform not only serves as a preventive tool for raising awareness, it is also helping to protect children, as the number of reported cases has increased.
So I believe that's probably why we're seeing more reported cases come in for the PNP. And just to mention that increased reported cases actually doesn't necessarily mean that there are more cases. It means that more people know where to report and are also confident and comfortable to report, which is really something that we want.
Prevention is better kasi para ma-reduce natin yung mga nabibiktima ng OSAE. Mas mahirap po yung approach. Medyo mas malawak po yung gagawin natin kapag nabiktima na yung bata. Kailangan natin i-involve yung mga other agencies para i-address yung mga cases na ito. Madami pang mga services na kailangan natin gawin. Madami tayong mga resources na kakailanganin pag nabiktima na siya.
Safer Kids PH clearly shows how the preventive approach promoted by the culture of prevention can help to prevent harm before it happens, including violence, especially against women and children, racial and religious discrimination, hate crimes, the effects of disasters, natural degradation, climate change and global warming, economic and educational inequalities, and physical and mental health issues. ASEAN's culture of prevention stands on 6 thrusts, which aim to mitigate these problems by promoting a culture of peace and intercultural understanding, a culture of respect for all, a culture of good governance at all levels, a culture of resilience and care for the environment, a culture of healthy lifestyle, and a culture of supporting the values of moderation. At the regional level, ASEAN governments have adopted over 200 policy initiatives supporting preventive approaches, such as the ASEAN Youth Sport for Development, Peace and Leadership Project, which has empowered 530 ASEAN youth leaders by developing life skills, including leadership, self-confidence, empathy, decision-making, and communication through sports and play. Or the hashtag CyberReady campaign to build awareness on digital literacy. And the number of initiatives will continue to rise. The preventive approach is also an effective tool that can be used by companies and organizations to tackle emerging issues. The Safer Kids PH experience has proven that adopting a culture of prevention works. And all of us, whether as individuals, communities, or companies and organizations, can adopt a preventive mindset in our daily lives, such as by respecting the traditions, beliefs, and rights of others in person or online, by doing our best to protect the environment in our everyday decisions, and many other actions that make our communities safer and more peaceful for everyone. Since 1967, ASEAN has been through many challenges that have tested our strong commitment to maintain peace, stability, and promote well-being and prosperity in the region. Moving forward, the ASEAN Post-2025 vision will continue the collective efforts to narrow the development gap among ASEAN member states. How ASEAN develops over the next 20 years will depend on our ability to evolve and develop resilience in the face of uncertainty and disruptions. To this end, practicing a culture of prevention at all levels will enable the region to meet emerging socio-economic challenges and ensure that current and future generations of ASEAN citizens can reap the benefits offered by a resilient and sustainable ASEAN community of opportunities for all.